What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Red Couch with Max Power. I am Max Power, and as you can see,
a little bit of dog hair, but still red.
it's got a little bit of blonde, but it is. And then there's also a pillow here. It's not red, but whatever. Yes, so we are back for another episode of My Virgin Eyes. This is Jurassic Park,
The Lost World.
Part 2. So it's the second part. Came out in 1997.
Ugh.
I've seen the movie numerous times, quite recently, because we tried to watch this, 2 weeks ago?
Oh, last year. This was like the season finale of our last season, and then we just rebooted the list from start because I slept through this the first time.
Not this one.
Yeah.
We just watched this like 3 weeks ago.
No, it was longer than that.
It's
The incident that I fell asleep 20 minutes in,
Yeah.
and you kept watching, it's been more than 3 weeks.
No,
There's 3
it
months.
was the last episode.
No, it wasn't?
Uh-huh.
No.
You want me? I'm gonna have to pull it up.
Oh, man.
You want me to pull it up?
Nah, we're live,
No,
man. Never mind. You
go ahead.
Shit.
Go ahead. Talk about. I watched this movie 3 weeks ago with Chris while he slept on the couch.
He says 3 weeks ago. I've had COVID 4 weeks ago, which meant I couldn't have been here.
Okay, well, still, it's been. Let's see. Go ahead. Tell me.
He's looking on the official SoundCloud page.
We streamed a month ago. We picked Jurassic Park a month ago. We watched Mission Impossible. We recorded, then we started the movie right afterwards. So it's been.
That's right.
See, a year ago.
Yeah.
How you fucking...
So the last couple of times we've been recording our episode, covering the last movie we see before we watch the next movie. So we've had the routine backwards for the last couple of episodes. But for once, we did it the way we always thought it was gonna be, and how we sometimes, when I don't fall asleep, get a chance to do this. We recently, as in 20 minutes ago, just watched Lost World Jurassic Park. That was my first time completely viewing it. I knew exactly where I fell asleep too. But that was for circumstances that had nothing to do with the movie. And without those circumstances, I was able to stay awake this time to watch the whole thing.
Well, we did have some light entertainment during halfway through the movie, but we'll get to that part. Do you want to talk about your opinion, or do you want to, since we're kind of doing an episode differently, are you going to talk about your opinion, or do you want to talk about the synopsis of the movie?
Tell them what the movie's about.
Okay, so again, as always, spoiler alert, if you've never seen this movie, like Chris, it kind of picks up right after the first one, where Jeff Goldblum's character is pissed off and he wanted to talk about the dinosaurs, but they kind of made him sign like a NDA.
Yeah.
NDA?
No. It's a contract. They made him go over there.
No, before that. He signs
NDA.
an NDA to say
NDA,
that nothing ever happened at the park.
What
first
park?
Park. Exactly. So John Hammond, fucking character, he's getting a team to go and research the dinosaurs just to look at them.
Here's the laziest booking as far as sequels go. Hey, bro, we had another one across the street.
Yeah, the next island over is.
Except it's like the other side of the street. Wrong side of the tracks.
Wrong side of the tracks.
Kind of street.
It's free ball. There's no fences.
And guess what? Your bitch already over there.
Yeah.
You want to go? That was basically it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another island 40 miles away, 60 miles away.
Right off of the coast of San Diego.
Yeah.
The whale's vagina.
Except this time, the dinosaurs are still alive. They don't have any fencing, and they injured this poor little girl, so now it's public, and we got to do something about it. And that's pretty much the reason why this sequel happened.
Pretty much. Yeah. That summed it up pretty good. We they could have just been like, we're building another park, go to it. And then it's like the same, at least with this one, it's like there's a reason, like they're just going to like research and see how the island's doing in its natural habitat, like without any human interference. So like it's not fully the same, but then the IGN InGen company who started the whole thing, who created dinosaurs, they've sent a team to collect the dinosaurs and bring them back to San Diego because it's going to be Jurassic Park
USA.
Yeah. So that's where the conflict, even though there's a shit ton of dinosaurs, and of course there's going to be T-Rexes and
The big ones, the
velociraptors.
flying ones, the spitty ones, the baby ones.
No spitting,
spitties.
no spitting, no flying ones until the end.
Mhm.
But so they both have to go, and so they both got their own plan. And I do have a thing about the spinning one, which we'll come to in a second.
Okay.
So of course the bad guys are collecting all of them, right? They're doing they're indexing them, and they're taking all the notes. And the good guys decide that they're gonna free them, because that was his Vince Vaughn's character, who's a photographer. He was like almost like a secret agent.
Yeah.
And John Hammond was like, if they come out and if they land on the island with you, try and save the dinosaurs, which I think was the kind of a weird. Why didn't he just say, hey, why did that have to be a part of the movie where he's like, I'm also sent here to save dinosaurs if dinosaurs need to be saved. Like, that part didn't have to be said. He could have just been like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess. Well,
because then he knew from the beginning that there was going to be another team.
Yeah.
The whole time he could have said, "Hey, you got to watch out for these guys," but he never mentioned it right until the time when he's
all the helicopters going, dude.
No, it was after that.
It was after that?
Yeah, he tells them after that. He tells them at night whenever they've caught all the dinosaurs.
Okay.
And
well, the 2 dinosaurs.
No, they collected They collected a whole bunch of them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, in the bad team, there's a hunter, and he's trying to kill the male T-Rex.
Yeah.
He called him a buck, and so they go to the base and they find the baby T-Rex, and so they kidnap it
to lure the daddy out.
To lure the daddy and the mommy.
Mm-hmm.
And so the good guys save the dinosaur, but it breaks its leg. So then they take it back to their camp and they try and fix it.
The dinosaur's leg was all broken already in the cage.
Yes.
They had already, yeah.
So,
you know what? Before put a pause on the story. Mm-hmm. Already, this is one of the things that I like about this movie is that Jurassic Park 1 was pretty much a lot of build up before you even got to see a dinosaur. Mm-hmm. You know, 30 minutes. 30, 40 minutes in the movie, I think. This movie, it felt like the pace just went like we got right to the point. Oh, we're going. Yeah. They show up. You're already seeing dinosaurs. You're already seeing. Well, you're already like.
That's. I mean, most sequels are like that. Yeah. Because like you can't like if you had a Terminator movie, the first movie is explaining what a Terminator is. Obviously not, and then the second one is like, oh, that's Terminator. I know what the fuck he's about. Yeah. Let's go. So like we don't need to see them create the dinosaurs. We don't need to see them talking about dinosaurs.
It's funny because it looked like basically obviously because Hollywood, it looked like they just reused the scene from part 1 towards the end because the other island also had a little base that was just like the Jurassic Park on the gated island. And it felt like everything that an origin story tells in the beginning, this one kind of saved for the end. So by the time I got to it, I was already like all in on the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what happens after
the bad guys' camp gets destroyed? Good guys try to go away.
They take the T-Rex, the baby T-Rex, with them
to try to fix his broken leg, and then Jeff Goldblum is up in the. Is up in the carriage because he's got a kid. Yeah, in the high because he's got a kid, by the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, hey, he's got a kid.
And this kid just shows up and follows them. Okay, actually, pause it on the story. Okay, so when Jeff Goldblum, whenever he decides he's gonna go, he goes to the base where they're, airing the tires and fucking building construction like on the cars to like bulletproof it type thing, right? And they're like, we can't do this in 3 days. Like, that's what he said. He's like, this is a bigger operation. And Jeff Goldblum's like, we need to leave in 3 days kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Then his daughter shows up, and he's like, hey, you got to go to fucking Carol's house, right? So then she gets into that room. So then she stayed on that thing for 3 days.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then they land, and then they put it there.
That's why. And
everything's all
on the floor. Right. Yeah. Because she'd been in there for 3 days.
But.
Well, you were looking for poop?
No. But she would like, if you're a 10-year-old kid, or I don't know how old the kid was, but if you were like 10 years old and you got transported to an island, and you're in this thing, and there's a jungle in front of you, and your dad's not around.
And she went on the ship.
Yeah, all this stuff, right? Whenever she would just start cooking for them to show when they're going to show up, because she doesn't know that they're going to show up right there or then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So there's a lot. Okay, that's just a little plot hole, just a little thing. I just gotta
lazy booking.
Yeah, like I think just adding the daughter just kind of makes it feel more like suspenseful.
Mm.
And it's a movie about dinosaurs. Like you don't need. If she wasn't in that movie, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, me neither.
You know?
She didn't play that much of a role in it.
The only
other than those 30, 60
Simone,
seconds of oh my god. Oh, and that's the gymnastics routine.
Yeah.
Good guys are running away from the bad guys with the hurt dinosaur. They're trying to fix the hurt dinosaur. The hurt dinosaur don't realize that her mommy and daddy are coming.
Yeah, they hear it.
And they're just staring to make sure, because they are not, apparently it was dialogue in the movie that those growls aren't hunting growls. They just want to make sure their kid's all right. So she thought she was doing all the God's work when she let the fixed dinosaur back out on the mud, and then they went back inside, like celebrated for a second. Then they got the asses whooped.
Yep, I did like that. I like the scene a lot, and you mentioned it when we were watching it. That scene, one of the T-Rexes knocks their kind of shelter bus thing, and it flips, and like the camera's in the middle, and so the whole building rotates, and like you said, you like that scene.
Yeah.
You saw them all kind of bashing around and stuff. I did dig that. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the bridge, and then they keep pushing it, and it falls down, and then she falls and she lands on the glass. And I like that scene too, where it's like the glass
slowly
is cracking,
creaking,
and like she's trying to move, but like every time she moves, it breaks. And they're trying to like talk to her, and then you can just see the water crashing all the way down at the bottom, and it's just
and then
it's fucking
the
chaotic.
satellite phones hanging from some like night light.
And and it's just perfect. That I like the whole scene. I think that's probably like my favorite scene in the whole movie. Is just the whole thing, and they're like trying to get saved and shit. I just thought it was really cool,
especially for '97 graphics.
Yeah, and considering it's a movie about dinosaurs, there's no dinosaurs in this scene really, apart from the T-Rexes pushing, and then they kill the guy later on. But like this whole thing is just what. It's almost like a Mission Impossible scene where it's like, how is he gonna get? How is Ethan gonna get out of this? Yeah. You know, like how's Tom Cruise?
Ethan and friends.
Yeah, how are they gonna get out of this shit? So I like that scene a lot.
And so the saviors of the wreckage is actually the bad guy group from Engine.
Yeah, and then some of those guys weren't that bad. They were bad guys, but like they weren't really. You know what I mean?
Because the crime wasn't against people.
Yeah,
the crime was against animals.
They're just doing their job. They're just
you'd shoot a dinosaur if it was in front of you right now.
You got paid. You're getting paid to pick up these dinosaurs. Like you're not bad, really.
You're on a job.
Yeah. So
yell at my boss.
Yeah, parts of this movie I was like,
shit. It's the highlight of my day. Yeah.
So, they all join forces to leave the island. They found there's a base, fucking
the old Jurassic Park base, but on that second island.
Yeah, well, it was the science lab. They hadn't built the base because they weren't going to do the full Jurassic Park build. So they go there. They're heading there, and then one of the guys who is acting like a dick, he's zapping all these
baby dinosaurs,
the
Snorlax or whatever. They're called.
Yeah. He goes and I love that scene too, where he's like, "Hey, Carlos, I'm gonna go take a piss. Watch for me." And then you just hear the guy's music, and he's just zoned out. He's just like, "I don't give a shit." He's like, "I'm on a stupid island. I'm chasing dinosaurs.
I'm about to die.
We're taking a break. This is my 5 minutes of break," and he's just listening to fucking music. So he doesn't hear him. The guy falls down a fucking hill, and then those little dinosaurs, I don't know what they're called, Pegosauruses or some shit. The little tiny ones. They're like little tiny raptors almost. They start fucking with him, and that one where he gets bit on the lip, and he's just holding it, and it's just
and his lips like
yeah. So then he runs away, and they follow him, and he's trying to chase them away and stuff, and then he just like falls over a log, and then they all I guess because it's like a PG-13 movie or whatever, they don't show the actual people being eaten. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, just like so, the one dude gets grabbed by the legs and
then
he's
it goes
swinging
behind
around,
yeah.
and then it goes by the waterfall. You don't see it, but
yeah, and then there's another one where he falls down behind a car,
yeah,
and you don't see it because I guess they don't show the actual death. But
yeah,
so going back to the point earlier, I think it would have been a lot cooler if whenever all those little dinosaurs, remember, they stopped and they all ran away.
they were laughing at him.
Yeah, I would like if that big, and like when he falls over the log or when he gets to the log before he falls over and dies.
Big dinosaur.
No. The spitting dinosaur. So the dinosaur pops up, right? So he's got the little dinosaurs behind him. He's on the log. He's trying to get over the log. The dinosaur pops up, and then he's just kind of like, he's playing that just how in the first one, who he's like, hey, you know, like, I'm okay. And then it fucking, and then fucking kills him. And that would be it. Because you never see that dinosaur in this whole movie. And that was one of the best parts about the Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs in that one. Anyway, so that's it. Dude dies. They split up. Half the team goes to find him. Half the team head back to the base. They get chased by a T-Rex. And Carlos, the guy that had the headphones on, he gets stomped on.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, oh, he survived because there was kind of like a divot already. And then he picks it up, and there's just the T-Rex's foot, and you just see him just kind of flopping.
And then the first one, you hear it.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
All the main characters, the good guys, they all jump into a waterfall just wide enough for them, but not wide enough for the T-Rex's mouth.
Except the one idiot that had a snake go in his shirt, and he's like, "Oh my god, the snake! I'm gonna go outside. Oh my god, the gator! I'm already dead."
You know what? In that case, in that moment in time, I'm willing to take a fucking snake bite. I'd rather get by poison and die by than get. Well, I guess
nice, calm, smooth sleep that you never wake up from.
Like, oh,
as
this
opposed
hurts.
to
like, oh, this hurts. Oh, I'm dead. No, this one's like he gets his arm caught and they drag him away, and then there's just like a fountain of blood coming from the water, which is a lot of blood for something, but whatever. What's next?
They're trying to get into the communications room, and Vince Vaughn separates from
the rest of the good guys.
From the rest of the good guys, which is the kid, the Doc's girlfriend, and then Jeff Goldblum. And so they're trying to get out because all these little velociraptors or whatever are going, and they're trying to eat them. And he wound up rescuing them, and the three of them see the cameraman, Vince Vaughn, is like, "Hey, here's over here." And then they went and got help. They went and Vince Vaughn's character called for help, and they arrived, so they picked all four of them up. And then I'm looking down, and then they all look down. Somebody they notice that the male T-Rex, the buck, has been captured.
Yes,
and they plan on taking that and the injured baby, which I don't know. There should have been hundreds of dinosaurs. How did we find the related baby with the?
There's only two T-Rexes, a male and a female, and they've only had one baby.
Yeah.
Like in this whole entire island, we only have two. It's like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
There's only two. That's it.
So in my head, I see them. They have the dinosaur, and they're going like, "Oh, okay." I know that there's a third part to this franchise movie, and I'm like, "This is where the movie ends."
Okay.
The movie was pretty good.
Okay,
it's okay.
I was gonna
7 out of 10. It was alright.
I was gonna tell you this. I was gonna
probably the only thing that we've ever seen Jeff Goldblum be the main star.
Yeah,
leading male.
He's in other movies, and he's the lead in some other movies, but we haven't watched him on this show and stuff like that. But he's definitely more of a side character. He's definitely more so like the comedy side of it. He's a comedy sidekick almost.
Yeah.
I was talking about this to myself, as you always do before you came over, and I was like, if you watch this movie, once they escape the island, that could be the perfect end to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then this third part, they start with that. They start with the T-Rex in San Diego, and that's the opening of the second part. Then you get the Jurassic Park, but in the third part, it's a whole new team, and they go to the island. I think it's a different island too, so they go to like a third island. Anyway,
so yeah, apparently on the map there's like 5 islands. Las Islas, the Islands of Death.
Yeah, the five islands of death, or five.
And so far, these 2 movies have been on those 2 islands.
Yeah.
So yeah, why didn't they make the next one on another? Well, would have been too boring. Like, oh hey, you're gonna copy the first movie twice.
Yeah, we've done 3. I can't. Honestly, like I've seen the third part more than I've seen the second part.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't remember the start of it.
Okay, good.
But they're on an island, and the main character from the first movie, I forgot his name right now. He comes back.
Oh, the white guy?
Yeah. So
okay.
I can't remember their name. I'm horrible with names. So they're coming back. So anyway,
for somebody that
we'll get to that point whenever
I would wonder, caution to think if other people had the same influence I have, that even when they were watching it back then, you would assume the sequel's gonna have the same cast, the same main cast.
Mm-hmm.
So when white guy, the researcher, and then the blonde chick, if the blonde chick is the same character, then they recast the role. They recast that person's role.
What character?
Jeff Goldblum's girlfriund. I thought that was her. No, somebody else. Okay, good.
That's his girlfriend.
Okay,
she's not in the first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So they land in San Diego. They realize there's a T-Rex. The baby infant was on the plane, so it's already in a Jurassic Park world that they built, which I thought was a little weird that they had already built.
Yeah.
Like in San Diego. Like if you're driving in San Diego and you see a giant amphitheater that says Jurassic Park, you're like, what's that? Nobody mentions it. Nobody says anything about it. So they land there, and then of course the T-Rex escapes and makes his way into San Diego.
And that's another thing that you mentioned about doing things subtly so that they don't have to get the R rating. I thought it was cool to see how far they pushed it, because there was a lot of like limbs and stuff on that ship.
Yeah. But you don't ever see blood like that.
Yeah.
You see the blood like in the water and stuff. But you never see like a bloody hand. It's just a hand that looks bloody or whatever, like, or a dead body, but you only see an arm or something like that. And even when the T-Rex is running down Main Street and there's just fucking people just going ape shit running, there's people reversing, there's car crashes, there's bus scenes, you never see anybody getting squashed.
I think that would have been a better third movie if they just started with the dinosaur in San Diego just wrecking shit.
Do we have?
It's almost like Godzilla, basically, from '98.
We're gonna have to watch the Jason in New York movie, because it's in there. The Friday the 13th movie.
In what order?
He's in New York. It's later on in the series. It's
really shitty. Oh man, you're gonna make me wait. But is it shittier than Jason x Freddy? Or Freddy versus Jason?
No, yeah, they're all up there in that tier. But he's in New York, and like he's walking down like fucking a New York street, and they're like, "Hey, watch out!" Like that. Like they're all like, and he's just fucking hockey mask and shit. Anyway, we'll get to that point. We'll get to there eventually when we're about fucking 50.
Oh my god.
So we'll get there. But they of course the T-Rex
is gonna T-Rex.
Yeah, he kills some people. He smashes things. He's looking for his baby.
So what happened was they tranquilized the damn thing.
Of course.
At the island.
The island.
But they were worried that they over tranquilized it. So they gave it some uppers, but they didn't realize how much uppers they gave it. So by the time it ended up near our shore, that boat didn't have brakes because everybody was dead. So they were going they weren't going slow. They weren't going dead slow. They were going
full steam ahead.
Full speed ahead. And they crashed into the loading dock and everything.
It's a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
Because it was on a big scale because they had people running.
Yeah.
So it was on a big scale, which I thought was pretty cool. But of course they grab the baby. There's a car chase scene.
Yeah.
And then they lower the T-Rex back to the boat, and then she tranks it.
Yeah.
After eating the main villain.
And before somebody from what was the business? Engine was actually going to shoot the thing in the head, because the dude that went on that trip originally,
Ludwig.
He's like, kill the damn, not kill the buck and leave the baby alive. Yeah. So the snipers on the helicopter right behind, was that Susan Sarandon? No. The female
we're horrible with names.
Researcher that was going to trank it. and she tranked it just in time so the dinosaur went down and the holding hatch could finish closing. And that's pretty much it.
And then they ship them back to the island in San Diego or on the
Costa Rica.
Yeah, Costa Rica. They just send them back, and then John Hammond's just like, we need to
leave them alone.
Yeah, we need
to
let them live. Yeah. It's Costa Rica's problem now. And then that's the end of the movie.
And that's the end of the movie.
And as the credits roll, what'd you think?
I would have enjoyed this movie 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks earlier. A lot. But I got tired. And I couldn't make it. This movie was good. It's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Oh, a 9?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We need to go back and figure out what you picked for the first one.
I think it was like an 8.
So you think this one's better?
This one was fun, man.
Just because there was not a lot of.
So I had a long day today, and I was kind of tired when I got here anyway. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't pushed to the edge with our help, but without it, I was like, and then I ate the pizza. And I was like, this movie woke me up.
Also we had an attack of flies. There was about 7 flies in this house. My dog, who's not here, she's in the bedroom right now. That's why she hasn't popped up to show her face. She was just going absolute ape shit. So
she was pretending to be a cat the way she was leaping back and forth around your living room,
and then we were trying to catch the
fly,
and
then another one came, and I was like, "Fuck it!"
I swear to God, I hit one over here, like behind the camera, and it fucking split into 2. Like I hit it, I saw one, I went to swing at it, and then 2 flew.
3D effect.
Yeah, and I was like,
"You were sober then too."
I know.
It got serious. I took this tank up and I just started helicoptering around, and I got one.
I turned around and he's just standing there without your shirt. All right, a 9 out of 10. Okay, I think there's a couple too many like stupid plot holes in this movie for me.
Yeah,
but I'll give it like a 7.5.
Okay.
I think I'm curious to see what you think of the next one when we watch that one.
Oh man, I need to set my expectations low.
Yeah,
and maybe I'll give it an 11.
Yeah, right. It's like it's a 10, and then you got to watch the Chris Pratt ones because you've only seen the newest one.
And I fell asleep through the newest one of that one at the theater. Good. Yeah, I was sober too.
Is there anything else you want to talk about this one? Is there anything else
about the movie?
Yeah,
I think we're good.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a good sequel. It follows the story, but it has a little bit of added to it. They kind of do the same tricks with the Velociraptors, hiding behind things and jumping and
don't go in the tall grass.
Yeah.
3 seconds later, that motherfucker's in the tall grass with everybody else.
That was a pretty cool scene though. When you see them, yeah.
The lines going through the field too.
I like that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. Is it my turn to pick or is it your turn?
It's your turn to pick.
Do you want to explain what it is while I shake it up?
So what we do is we have a picture brimming full of franchises, movie franchises. So think Harry Potter, think Transformers, Cars, Fast and the Furious,
Jurassic Park,
Halloween. Superman, Halloween, Friday the 13th.
I forgot about Superman. The Crow was in here. Conan the Barbarian. Those movies have both been retired because we don't want to watch the newer ones.
Yeah,
with Jason Momoa and
if they don't sync up with the timeline of the movies past, that's not considered.
Because I'm pretty sure the next bunch of Crow movies are just like almost like a reboot.
Yeah,
where it's like the same story. At least with Jurassic Park, there are different things. Yeah.
So as you mentioned, we watch the movie. After we give it a review, we put the movie back in the picture, and then we pull it again in the future. We continue on with part 2, part 3, part 4. Is this one we haven't done yet?
Kind of. No, this is a repeat, but we've already done one of them, I guess.
Hit me with it.
We are watching Pauly Shore 4.
Oh, shite! What's after Encino Man? Is it Son-in-Law? Is it
I don't know.
His
That's on
son-in-law
me. I've never
in the
seen.
army now, or is it
Do we have to go in
Biodome?
We have to go in order, do we?
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. I'll look it up.
Okay. So we are gonna watch Pauly Shore's.
Wow. Can we do that now?
No, you're not gonna survive. No way. You're gonna.
Well,
fall asleep.
now I have help.
No, you're gonna fall asleep. We're gonna try and watch the Ric Flair fight.
Okay. Oh, that's right. We're
Ric
doing
Flair's
that too.
last match was this weekend, so we're gonna try
His
and watch
8th last match.
Yeah.
Which like it kind of ruins it for me after the 2nd or 3rd one because
it just.
I was there live in attendance for what I thought what was advertised was his last match.
How long ago was that?
It was 2008, WrestleMania 24.
We're about to have 38.
14
39,
years.
39 is next year.
14 years between then and now. And Ric Flair just couldn't let it go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he couldn't let it go.
Well, he also did the whole TNA thing.
So what's going to happen first? Ric Flair finally lets it go that he's retiring, or comic fans letting it go that Batgirl got canceled?
Oh, nobody cares about Batgirl.
What? Michael Keaton reprising Batman again?
Yeah, but he's also going to be in the Flash movie.
You think the Flash movie's happening?
I mean, the only reason I think is because it's 90% done or it's almost done. They're just
Batgirl was just as done.
Nah, they had a lot to do with that. I think they just finished filming it, or even if they had filmed it. I don't know. I don't care. It's DC. I love DC. That was my comic books growing up. I didn't really read Marvel as much, but the movies are just like some of the movies are good. They're just so bad, like with marketing, especially when you look at Marvel. And Marvel have the next fucking 3 years
planned out.
They've probably planned out the next 10 years, realistically.
But they're drop feeding.
But they're so they're they're not going to give you fucking 10-year plan, but they already know like, all right, this guy's.
We know it's a 10-year plan.
Yeah, this guy's
10 more years, which means it's a 20-year plan.
Yeah, this guy's going to do this movie 4 more times and shit like that. So, but where DC, it's like they make a Batman movie and then fucking 4 years later they make another Batman movie. But then they bring back the Batman from the first movie to play the Batman in the new movie. But then halfway through that movie, he just, and then
then they make a movie of the Batman's villain. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're making a sequel to that, and it's just like there's just no consistency. Like
there's no continuity. Like where is this building to?
Yeah, like Marvel will be like straight up like you can make a movie, it has to fit in this universe, so you're gonna have to have a multiverse or whatever. You're gonna have to add onto this movie. You can't just make a movie. Where DC's just like, sure, go ahead. What do you want to make? Oh, a Batman movie? Sure, just do whatever you want.
But Batman Batman is a gay female in this movie. Oh, we'll still make it work. Yeah, it was weird. Like they spent one WB. Well, I guess it's under the Discovery management. Warner Bros. Spent $70 million to have Zack Snyder finish the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah, and it went nowhere.
Well,
that was just an HBO fucking first, because it was the first thing they released on there.
90 million was what it took so far for this Batgirl movie, and they decided to cancel it when they're just as much done, at least with filming.
I don't know what to tell you, man. They canceled The Flash, the TV show, or it's they're on the last season.
Yeah.
Next season will be the last season. They're only doing like 13 episodes. So pretty much CW's Arrowverse is what they call it is done. Like I think they're gonna have a couple of more from that Legends of Tomorrow show, but that's it.
Not even a new Crisis?
No. Nothing.
Wow.
None of those things. Like this season is almost done if it's not done. I don't even know if they're going to keep doing Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah, that's one of the newer shows.
I don't know if that gets moved somewhere to another channel, like to another Discovery channel, and just get rid of CW total. I don't know what's going to happen with that. We need to talk to Travis about that stuff. He knows he's more into it than me. I gave up on that stuff. And
I'm not that big of a DC guy, but I'm a Batman guy. I learned because I keep collecting Hot Wheel Batmobiles. Like, and
they're fucking cool.
Yeah,
and it's really the only superhero that has cars. Really,
Ghost Rider's got the bike.
That doesn't.
But that's not.
That's his gimmick. Though.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not Batman.
Like Iron Man doesn't have any.
That's not Batman.
Iron Man doesn't have any cars.
Yeah,
I mean, he has an Iron Man car, but like they never use it. Spider-Man doesn't have a car.
Yeah.
You know.
X-Men got a plane.
Thor's got a boat.
What'd you think of the Thor movie? Love and Thunder.
You know what? We don't have to talk about this long because we have a good friend, and he has a show on YouTube, and it's Chris is on it. So.
Oh yeah, I'm on that show too.
What's it called? Tell me.
Pop Culture Rewind.
Oh.
Yeah. Facebook.com/Pop Culture Rewind.
Oh.
On Twitter at Pop Culture RWND. I just spoke the Travis line.
Yeah.
Like if I just suddenly
you got
lost my skin pigmentation.
You got it down. So if you want a full review of that, I would highly recommend watching that.
A fully negative review from Travis.
Yeah, it was. Travis, our friend who hosts the show, he gave it a 4. No, he gave it a 3.
He gave it a 3. I gave it a 4.
Chris gave it a 4. I called it an even, and I said 3.5.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
When I got up and left.
What was the worst part of the movie?
When I sat down and the movie started.
Oh, Eiffel Tower.
Okay, so just a quick
ranch view.
Yeah, I sat down and I liked the Thor fucking Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was hilarious. I didn't really care for Fat Thor and Depressed Thor through the Endgame stuff. And then I was just like, and so I was like, this movie looks good. It's fucking Taika Waititi or whatever his name is.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, it's him. I like his stuff. Like I like some of his stuff. He's starting to show what he does now. Where
starting to wear out. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. And so I was like, I'll watch it. It's Thor. It's the next one. And you gotta kind of watch all these movies to understand what the fuck's going on. And like y'all talked about it, like the training, him getting in shape and all this stuff just bored the shit out of me. It was there was just, like y'all mentioned it, like how you wanted to see maybe them going on an adventure with the Guardians just for like a split second, just a quick 20-minute or 15-minute thing where they're like saving something or stealing something.
Yeah. We got 45 seconds.
Yeah, like if they stole something and then they escape and it's like kind of looks cool and it's like explosions and stuff, I might have been more into it. Christian Bale's character was pretty much non-existent the whole movie, which I really wanted to see more of too. I think y'all mentioned that y'all wanted to see more of him.
Yeah. It just felt way too rushed.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind watching a longer movie if it's good.
Yeah.
And if they left the good stuff on the cutting room floor and left 20 minutes on the floor and put at the theater what they put at the theater. Yeah.
Yeah. And I literally as I left the theaters, I was talking to my girlfriend and I straight up said, like, I bet you they're gonna add shit to this movie for the director's cut or whatever it is. And then so like when you watch it the next time, if you watch it on Disney Plus or whatever, it's gonna have an extra 20 minutes and you're like, oh, this movie's great. But it's like, I'm probably never gonna watch this movie ever again.
Yeah.
Like it didn't appeal to me at all. Like it was too funny or trying to be too funny and comical. And I just wanted some action, especially with Thor. Like he's funny, but like he's funnier when he's like Chris Pratt, where he's funny with his like one lines.
Yeah.
It's not just him doing like it was just cheap pops, I felt.
Yeah.
And that's it. I just don't care for it. Will I watch Thor 5? Yeah.
Well, we kind of have to.
Yeah. I feel like the next one that he how many more is he doing? How many is he signed up for?
I don't know, but he's supposed to be doing the Hulk Hogan.
I think it got shelved for now.
What?
Yeah, I think it got shelved. I could see him in parts in that movie when I was like, oh, I could see him being Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Brother. But
then I'm also like, nah, I don't know if I want to see him as Hulk Hogan. But also, do I really want to see anything about Hulk Hogan?
That's the answer right there.
Like,
for 600.
He's a
circle gets the square.
Racist man.
All
right. I want to hear your opinion on Nope. So, spoiler again.
Oh, so we're adding to the My Virgin Eyes category. This is how we came up with this one because this is the first Jordan Peele movie I've seen. Oh. I haven't seen Get Out and I haven't seen Us. So this is my debut.
Yeah.
So this is probably why I like the movie a lot more than maybe people that I've already seen the first two.
No, they're not.
It sounds like there's a style in Peele's movies where he's kind of trying to say the same message with different
Oh,
vocabulary.
that's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're watching that movie after already watching either one or both of his previous directorial, producial writing credits, you're gonna see a lot of resemblances where you're gonna be like, eh.
I think those other two movies are like the only way is like you can tell it's a Jordan Peele movie, but it's not. It's nothing. He does have a message in each movie, and it's kind of like underlined in there. But yeah, you could watch Get Out and then watch Nope and be like, these are two separate movies with like some direct, because they're all three movies are completely fucking different. Like
this movie was different, all right, from anything I've seen so far. I could tell a couple of little clues that he's huge into anime. The first one, there's a scene where someone's on a motorcycle and they do the power slide from Akira. And then the actual antagonist of the entire movie. Spoiler alert again, because Nope is kind of still fresh in the theater. They even gave it away in the trailer that there's some kind of spaceship. So you're already thinking, well, it's an alien movie now. They kind of gave the whole bit away.
I mean, from the first trailer, you knew it was going to be an alien movie.
They didn't show anything.
They showed in the first trailer. They showed. I'm pretty sure they showed the saucer.
No, they didn't show it till the second one.
Even then, you knew exactly, because that's what I've been talking to Sam for months, being like, I want an alien movie. I want a good alien movie. And so when I first saw the trailer, I was like, the very first trailer, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a good alien movie. And it wasn't.
No, you don't like it?
No, did not.
Maybe because your expectations were that high that you thought, oh, it's going to be a good alien movie just because you saw the trailer and then.
I like Jordan Peele. I like everything he's done. I like fucking his comedy and stuff like that. Like I like his stuff. The movie was good for the first like half of it, and then after that, it just fucking does that. Yeah.
I thought it was getting a bit more interesting. That was enough. There was enough on the hook to keep me on there because I was still wondering about the premise, how long it was going to take before we get the aliens, the UFO sighting, and then after that we got the sighting of the aliens, and they were actually kids in costume. But
that's when I stopped.
That's when you stopped.
Right after that scene, that's when I was like, nah, because I loved that scene. I thought that scene was hilarious, and
punched that kid. That kid in the face, like, oh.
But they never bring that up. Like that was the other ranch's kids.
Yeah.
If I punch your kid, would you not come and be like, hey man?
The kids were sneaking around. They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, but he's just gonna go home and be like, "Hey, he punched me in the face."
Unless they want to snitch that they went out.
He's trying to buy the land from him. What's a good excuse? Hey, I'm trying to buy your land. You don't want to sell it to me. You just punched my kid. You're gonna get fucking shit. I like the whole scene.
What'd you think of the chimp? Gordo.
I just don't like. I don't know why that was in that movie. What did it do? Tell me exactly what that did to give me like if you took that out of that movie, everything about the ape, the gorilla, the monkey, the movie wouldn't be different.
So they explain Glenn from The Walking Dead, Stephen Yeun, he explains in the movie about animal instinct. So at one point during the scene that they were filming in this family TV show where the monkey got aggravated and started attacking everyone and killed people. And Stephen Yeun's character as a kid is hiding under the table and sees the whole thing happen and then sees the monkey look at him and starts slowly going towards him. So I think the first part where he says it in the dialogue that it's an animal instinct that the alien has, and then I guess the attachment, because at the time as a kid, a monkey that can do a lot of react like humans can. I mean, that's kind of like different. That's kind of out there. So he has this attachment with Gordy because they like each other. So I would think going further into the movie, the reason the monkey is because they already had the setup where they were going to feed the cow to the alien. So they already had that whole thing built. So I figured they've already been doing that.
I'll let you keep talking. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Let them keep doing that. And then he gets, I guess, he's already attached to the alien. So that's why he's feeding the alien so the alien sticks around. Which I thought was a cool trick where the reason how they discovered this is because there was a cloud that never moved.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the kid from Fry's who noticed it. It was like, hey, you see that? Let me know when you see it. And that's when they pointed it out. That thing was actually living in the cloud.
I'm gonna blow your mind. Okay,
go for it.
Steve, what's his name?
Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun, and the main character never talk about the alien. They never mention the alien together. It never happens in the whole entire movie. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So who cares about the ape? The ape has nothing to do with this movie. All his character does is he realizes there's a spaceship that's eating horses and shit like that. So he buys the horses from the dude, sets them up, and feeds them. So every night at 5 o'clock, he feeds the alien. The alien comes down, eats, and then goes away. So then he's making the sideshow. He never ever talks to him about the alien and being like, hey, there's an alien here. That's why I'm trying to buy your land, because I'm going to make it a fucking theme park type thing. Never mention it. So the ape doesn't mean anything. He figures out that it's more animal because of the horse.
Okay.
Because he realizes. So the ape scene doesn't have to happen. None of that ape stuff has to happen.
Yeah. But since you mentioned that, I this is one of the things why I like to rewatch movies sometimes again, movies that I really like, because there's got to be a lot more shit I missed like that.
Yeah, with this one because it was an alien movie. I was fucking constantly looking
in the sky.
I was constantly, and if it was a dark scene, I was constantly trying to like figure out if there was something walking, creeping, like
stuff in the background when the bug got on the camera. You can still kind of see.
Yeah, exactly. I'm squinting my eyes. I'm turning my head. I will say, like before, kind of like the saucer alien thing actually comes out and fucking shows it. I love those scenes when he's kind of just looking out onto the ranch, and then you just see it just fucking
dart through the clouds.
Like I love that.
Yeah.
If that whole entire movie was like that, where it just showed like glimpse like that, not the whole movie, but
more.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of those things because I like that. I like those movies that make it builds and it makes you like kind of get uncomfortable and like sit
waiting for something to happen that doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Yeah. There is a movie way off topic, but there's a movie where the she I can't remember what it's called, but she goes to Florida and there's a flood and all these gators get out and she's in this house. I need to look it up, but dude, that movie had me on my edge because there's a whole bunch of scenes of like looking at dirty water, and the house is filled with crocodiles or gators, whatever.
Was it a recent movie?
It came out like 3 years ago, and so the whole entire
it's in Louisiana, I think, because I think they're in French Quarter, and she's on the second floor because the crocs have already. It's either called crocodile or croc or something.
And the whole time you're looking into this dirty ass mucky water, and you don't know there's anything there. And then sometimes there is, and sometimes there isn't. That fucking shit gets me, and I'm like, my heart fucking races, and I'm like on my knees, and I'm just fucking like, no. Anyway,
the other part that I liked about his nod to anime was the alien. So the spaceship itself is actually the alien. It's the being. It sucks humans and horses and everything through it too, whatever it wants to eat, and they actually show what are supposed to be the insides of this beast while the people are being swallowed up and it's taken up. And it ate a flag once because it ate one of the fake horses. So you see the flag like draping everywhere.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and he can't like ditch it. You know, I thought it was funny.
I think
the anime portion. The being itself, that the things, it transforms into several things during the movie. One of my favorite anime movies of all time is Evangelion 1.0, where there's 3 or 4 different harbingers of death that they called angels that were trying to terrorize the pure city of New Tokyo or whatever. So they built a robotic city on top. One of the angels was this diamond thing, but it had the ability to shapeshift into whatever it needed to be to get whatever he wanted done. He transformed into a laser cannon. He transformed into like spikes things that were sticking out, like almost like like a round cactus. And then it transformed itself as a drill that started drilling through the 25 layers of plating to try to get to the core of the city. And that was the flashback that I got of that scene of the.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see how that'd be.
Yeah. So I can tell he's got good taste in anime between Akira and even Neon. Well, the original TV show Neon Genesis Evangelion that they made the last 4 new movies out of.
I've never seen any of those.
Well, there's 3 so far, and the 4th one came out last year in Japan, and it's supposed to be dubbed and released sometime this year. I'm waiting. It's Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0. You cannot do thrice or something like that. I forget. But yeah, I can appreciate the little things that kept me hooked in the movie. Again, I don't know how he presents the other movies or how the theme is tied together that he's trying to get across. But since this was my first experience with Jordan Peele, I think that's why I've got it a little bit higher than I think other people would. I'm at like an 8.
Yeah, no, I'm not even close to that, man. I'll rewatch it whenever it comes out on
Daniel Kaluuya was really good.
There's some good acting. There's some bad acting in that movie and some stupid things.
Some of it does
don't
drag.
need to be seen. There's some stuff that doesn't need to be in that movie, and I kind of feel like he got to a point, and it's kind of like in. So I would say Get Out is the best one he's done, and then it would be Us, and then it would be Nope. But Get Out is the most complete. He has a story the full way through. The second movie he does, it starts off very similar to this. How Nope was, where it's very suspenseful and there's not a lot going on, but when you do, it's like sudden and things like that. And then the story just like he tried to go too weird and too crazy. And in this one, it's just I don't know, man. Maybe because it wasn't really like he never really fought with the aliens and stuff like that.
That was an actual battle.
Yeah, and it was like it did look cool. Like some of that scene, whenever it had that square and it was kind of pulsing. Yeah, and it kind of looked like a mouth that was going to come and grab him. Yeah, and then there's just shit. I don't know. I was.
And then they killed it.
Yeah, with a big boy fucking a cowboy thing. Yeah. So I think I gave it a 3 when I watched it.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it just didn't. It
didn't appeal to you.
If I left halfway through that movie, I probably would have given it like a 6 or 7. But because I sat through it and watched it,
that's odd. I gave a Jurassic Park a higher score because it had the dinosaur in the parking lot that it didn't have at the end. If I would have ended the movie with them taking the dinosaur, I was like,
because it would have just ended. That would have been a weird place to end it, but it would have made sense if they never made another one. But yeah,
that was good.
Go to circle back to the Jurassic Park that we've been supposed to be talking about for the past hour.
Blackberry Bramble from Lost 40 Brewery in Little Rock, Arkansas. We had this conversation before we clicked the record button that we might just need to drive out there for a weekend to get the fuck out of here and pick up a lot of beer on the way back.
Yeah, that is true.
It can be done.
How long did it take? 7 hours?
Yeah, I could probably push it to 6.
You're fucking driving, yeah. We'll get there in 3.5.
Yeah.
We'll figure out which Pauly Shore movie we have to watch. It'll be interesting.
But it will be next.
Because I like Encino Man. That's the first time watching it, and I enjoyed it.
Just remember, Pauly Shore is like the innovator of playing himself in every movie. Yeah. So loud, annoying, Pauly Shore. That's what you're gonna get in. Buddy, you're gonna get that in the Army now. You're gonna get that in Son-in-Law. You're gonna get that in Biodome. It's the same thing. Yeah,
interesting. We need to figure out which
one. So until that character wears you out, or if the change of scenery from all of these Pauly Shore movies, it's almost like Ernest Goes to Washington, Ernest Goes to Iraq, Ernest Goes to the moon.
I'm fine with it. I know what those movies are like.
You take it for what it is.
Yeah, like once you've seen one. I'm sure there would be slight differences, but it's the same shit.
Yeah.
which is fine. I'm okay with that. I can watch, and they're always like an hour and a half too, which is nice.
Yeah.
I miss those 90-minute movies.
Mm.
You know, when they can just get shit done in 90 minutes, and you'd be like, all right, we're done. Those 60 movies are fucking hard to find now.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to wait and or just wrap this up now?
I play this band a lot whenever we're taking road trips. You saw Sum 41 a few days ago with me.
Yes.
Look at that big smile on your face.
I was so happy. I'm not gonna lie. Not as happy as this guy. So it was a House of Blues.
Simple Plan, Sum 41, and Magnolia Park.
Yeah. We got into the foundation room, which is up there because my girlfriend's friend works. Well, she works there too, but her friend works there. And so she was like, "Hey, come up here and hang out with us." So the foundation room is to the right of the stage, right by the merch stand. Mm-hmm. So we had the timesheet for when they were going to go on. It was 8:00 on the dot. So as we're walking up, it's the most packed I've ever seen at House of Blues. Like, I've never been to a show that's that busy at House of Blues.
Pre-COVID, shows weren't that packed.
Yeah.
That early. I'll say it like that. That early.
Yeah.
I've been at the Rail for a lot of shows, and when I first get that spot, there's nobody there. And then the first band, there's nobody there. And then by the time the main headliner comes on, it looks pretty packed from here. Yeah. This was packed from the fucking beginning. Apparently this Magnolia Park group, it got famous through TikTok. So people, I was surprised how many people knew a lot of the songs for that being a band that I don't even think has a CD out.
I never heard of them. I hadn't even seen them. If they're on TikTok, I've probably heard them on TikTok. Yeah. But I had no idea. I just went for Sum 41. That's all I cared about.
During Magnolia Park, this plan never fails. He knows. Soon as the first opportunity pops up for a circle pit to open up right in front of the stage, all you got to do is skirt that bitch all the way around. No, first you fight through the crowd in the back and tell them, "Hey, I'm going in there. I'm going in there," and they'll be happy to move the fuck out of the way for you. And then as soon as you get right on the cusp, then you either just like walk the tightrope around, or you just cut right through the fucking middle.
Right through.
And I cut right through the middle, and I'm like, one person's in front of me, and then I'm basically at the rail. So you show up right when Sum 41 starts, and you're heading to the foundation room.
I came back I was leaving the foundation room. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got there right when they started Motivation, which is cool as shit. And then we stood there for about half the set, and then we made our way to the bathroom, and then we stood at the exit for the last like 4 songs, which I was like, it was a good fucking set. Like, and it was funny because they played Motivation, and then they played something else early on. I can't remember which song it was, but I have the set list somewhere. But I was like, it. And so they had the first 2 songs that I knew were like really early on, and then I was like, I don't know any other songs for another fucking 10 songs, really. You know, like I might have heard them, but then they started playing these songs, and like it triggered something in my mind, and I was like, I know this song, and then I was like, yeah, and then I was singing along, and then the next song came on, and I was like, oh, I know. I think out of like I think they played like 18 songs or something, or like 16 songs. Out of like all of them, I only didn't know like 2 or 3. Yeah. Like there were some songs I knew, but I didn't know the lyrics, but I knew the song. I knew I had heard it. And then they played all the songs that I wanted to hear. Nice. Like, what else do I need? You know, like I almost bought the t-shirt too. And I was like, there's $40, man. And it's like,
so that's if it's a $40 t-shirt, they're getting $40 out of that sale. And that's enough for 1 gas tank in their van, or like a quarter of a tank of gas in the bus for them to get to the next tour. With inflation going up and gas prices going up and everything else going up, I could see why, from a band's perspective, they want $40 for the shirt. You and I, as people that already own a lot of shirts, a lot of concert shirts.
Yeah, but these guys aren't fucking touring out of a van. Yeah. They're in a fucking mega bus. Yeah. And their record company are paying for all this stuff. Bands don't pay for their own stuff like that.
What's the top concert shirt? How much would you not pay? What's your breaking point?
It depends on who the band was. If that was Metallica and they had a $40 t-shirt and it had, I'd
stuff you like?
That. Yeah.
Okay.
If there was other bands that but like Sum 41 is just like, I mean, they obviously have diehard fans, and they have people, but like for me as a casual fan, $40 is too much.
Yeah, I get you.
You know,
the only disappointment I had of the show, which is weird that I'm going to say this because you just raved over the show, and I've seen Sum 41 several times. They always put on a good show. They played the same show. When they first announced this tour, Simple Plan was going to play their opening album, no pads, no helmet, just balls, from start to finish, all like 12 songs or 13 songs. And then Sum 41 was going to play all killer, no filler live from start to finish because it's the 21st anniversary of that album. 3 shows or 4 shows in, the bands were kind of getting leery because the deeper cuts from those 20th anniversary albums that they don't play that often weren't getting the reception they were expecting.
Yeah.
So they both said, fuck it, we're going to just go back to the tours that we do that we're already used to, that we're comfortable with. So other than the one song, Summer, from All Killer No Filler that they rarely play live, I've sworn the last show that I went to of them
was the same set.
The same set. Yeah, the same songs that I don't like from albums that I kind of like, songs that are like, oh man, I haven't heard this in a while. When it's actually, I think I heard this last time I saw it. Yeah, this felt like I saw the same show.
Never seen them, so
it was worth it for you.
Songs live, yeah. It's the same as whenever we go see Metallica and they play Fuel.
Oh, and you go see Metallica 3 days in a week, and they played 12 of the 14 same songs every fucking show.
Well, that was just something I wanted to do. But even then, yeah. So I mean, I had a fucking great time. We went to the Dirt afterwards and had some drinks.
Oh yeah.
We did not stay for Simple Plan.
I've seen Simple Plan before. They put on a good show, but I think for whatever reason, my friend and I were finding an excuse to leave. Like, and I finally got an actual spot on the rail. I squeezed through people, and the opening happened and everything, especially after the Sum 41 show.
I noticed a lot of people leaving.
You did?
So as soon as they were done, me and Sam went outside, like straight away. We watched them get off stage, and then they said goodbye, and they changed the music. As soon as I heard that, because I thought they'd maybe play another 1 or 2 songs because there was no encore. Yeah. But then I was like, oh, they're the
co-headliner.
Yeah. So as soon as I heard the house music come on, I was like, let's go outside. And there was a shit ton of people leaving.
Can't blame them.
Yeah, it's like
they put on a fucking good show.
And I told Sam before we got there, I was like, look, if Sum 41's on first and Simple Plan's the headliners, let's fucking leave. And she was like, that's cool with me. And I was like, because if not, I might pop out of Foundation Room, but if Sum 41 were the headliners, I would have just stayed in Foundation Room the whole night.
Yeah.
Until Sum 41 came on. Just because like it was fucking packed. Like I said, it's the most packed I've ever seen House of Blues.
Not just that, you know where the merch table's at. The line went from the merch table across the stage, around sound checking station, around the VIP. It almost went a full lap around. That's how long that merch table was. And yeah, it was nuts. And I don't even think that line ever let up. I think when we left,
no, there's people in line when I was there.
Yeah,
like while the show was going on.
We left going towards the merch stand so that we can go all the way around. There was still a line.
Yeah, more people would probably jump in it because the bands are not playing. Yeah, so the line probably got even longer.
Yeah, but goddamn, that was a fun show, man. Sum 41 have not disappointed. No,
I probably never have to go see them again. Like they played all my songs I've heard. I like. I don't listen to them currently. I don't listen to their new stuff.
They don't have new stuff yet.
So
it's coming. Yeah.
Even then, the past fucking how many albums they got? 6, 7 albums.
The new album, Heaven and Hell. It's a double album. Heaven is supposed to be pop punk, all killer, no filler. Hell is supposed to be like metal. Like the metal stuff, the metal pieces of songs that you heard.
Yeah.
So one of their little features that they have, whenever they play Motivation, this time they open the show. But whenever they play Motivation, they end it with the heavy part, which is the ending of 88, which kind of sounds like a heavy metal
song, right?
Yeah, like a Metallica song. Most of what's on Chuck, which is my favorite, and then Does This Look Infected, has a lot of metal-ish to it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They definitely changed their style whenever they on certain albums.
Yeah.
I mean, I listened to those 3 albums.
So unless they play half of their set list from both of those albums, you might want to go again.
That's one of those ones that I'll look on.
And hopefully by then they'll change the set list and they'll have
Yeah.
other songs that
if they're coming to Houston next year or after this new album comes out, like 2 years from now, if they had the set list on the website before, and I looked and was like, oh, if they're just gonna play the same set,
yeah,
then I'm just not gonna go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've got 2 years to change his mind.
Yeah, in 2 years you're gonna be like, we went and saw Sum 41 again. It was fucking amazing. They played no songs that I knew. Give me 2 years to listen to fucking songs.
A road trip and a half, and I would have caught you up with the whole discography.
That is true. We did when we were in San Francisco for the Metallica show. We listened to Sum 41.
Yeah. I made a specific heavy playlist, and he was doing this a lot.
Yeah, there was some good stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
And I remember we had a conversation before we pulled off, as we're driving to for the hockey. When we drive to San Jose, on the way to San Jose for the hockey game, I was like, we were talking about how it sounded like Metallica. Like there was that song, and I was like, this. And you were like, you know who this is? And I was like, I would say it's Sum 41, but I was like, this sounds like a Metallica.
They have a song on Chuck, which is basically not riff for riff, but the blueprint of Battery from Metallica.
Yeah.
It's Sum 41 with their own lyrics, their own sound. The riff is similar, but kind of tweaked. The solo similar, kind of tweaked. The breakdown riff between the solo and the last lyrics before the chorus. Battery, the finish of Battery, just like after the lead of Battery. It's off the top of my head. I can't remember what the song is. It's not Open Your Eyes. It's the song before.
Well, we can do that later.
Okay, we can do that later.
Just thinking about Metallica and Battery. You don't watch Stranger Things, right?
No.
Okay.
But apparently everybody's told me, hey, how long's Metallica been around? That new Master of Puppets.
So there's this new heavy metal band called Metallica. They got a song called Master of Puppets. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about the show. Like, show's great. I love it. Eddie's fucking fantastic.
Yet to see an episode.
Dude, you're gonna fucking I think you would love it. I'm not gonna lie. If you want to start up My Virgin series, TV series, I would rewatch that.
I don't have enough time in my life.
Not right now.
No.
But so he plays Master of Puppets in the show, right? Yeah. And it's a big fucking part of the music is a really big deal in that show.
Yeah.
So Metallica, of course, are now popular again, and people love them, and their new kids are learning about Metallica and Master.
Newer kids,
yes. But they hung out with the guy.
Eddie Munson.
Yeah, they hung out with him and they recorded. They not recorded, but they recorded videos of him playing
Jamming
Master Puppet with them.
Yeah,
and it was kind of cool seeing Lars being like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking." I'm gonna do the intro and then you go. And he was just like, he looked so fucking happy, like he's living everybody's dream. And then they give him the guitar and they're like, we could fuck it up and sign it for you. And he was just like, that'd be amazing. Anyway, on this last tour, Metallica's last tour, what they do, Lollapalooza,
and then they have 2 stadium shows coming up in a couple weeks.
They had a couple of shows in Europe and stuff like that recently. And then they had another couple of shows.
Hellfest.
But while they played Master of Puppets, they spliced in. I know you know this, but I'm telling you, they spliced in scenes from Stranger Things. So it's like you see Lars drumming, and then you see Eddie fucking. No, there's no aliens.
They just show the clip of Eddie playing the riff.
Yeah, but it looks fucking cool. You should just watch that scene. It's a cool fucking scene.
I'm
just
sure it's out there.
There's fucking like red lightning.
He's on the van. The clouds are red, and he's doing the riff by himself. The riff's kind of like out of tune and different notes, but it's the riff. And then they played Metallica's music over it, and it looks like he's playing the riff.
It's all Metallica.
It's all Metallica.
Yeah. And Rob Trujillo's son, his son played, like he steps in for parts of it. He gets a right on because I think his kids. It's not Chris. It's not Rob. It's somebody else. It's his, or I think his kid's called Chad or some shit. He gets credited on the movie. He gets credited on the show at the end.
Oh man!
I think he steps in for a couple of the scene, like the body double, but he plays the song. Like maybe his fingers. Maybe Eddie doesn't have the actual finger. He said he learned how to play it, and you see him playing it with Metallica, so he knows it. But like
he has more practice now than he did when he filmed.
Yeah. Man, anyway, that was just cool. I just thought it was cool to see Metallica doing something like that, and they got to stay relevant. They're getting fucking 40 years, and now people.
Hopefully, we get a new album next year.
But that means next time there's a fucking tour, they're gonna play all their fucking hits
again.
And so, so
Well,
we're old, man. Chris's birthday's in a couple of days. So happy birthday. This episode will probably be out on his birthday. So when you're watching this, it's his birthday.
So no negative reviews on this episode, please. Yeah.
Tell your friends.
And your enemies.
Yeah. Hey, watch this. It's so good.
Don't ever do that to me.
It's an hour long fucking episode of
a bunch of
two
shit.
dudes rambling about movies and fucking Sum 41. What year is it?
Metallica? Sum 41? Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park, Sum 41, Metallica.
Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore. Hell yeah. All right, so next episode we will be recording a Pauly Shore movie.
Yes.
I have nothing else to say.
That's it, man.
And like always, we do not have an outro.